Long Island's the perfect combination of beach, vineyard, and farm. I simply adore the comforts of small town living with the glitz and glamour of one of the top international travel destinations, New York City. Allow me to show you the excitement, culture, and beauty life on Long Island affords. I'm Michele McDonald. Welcome to a new season of LIE. On this episode, we're going to have an exclusive culinary experience in the Hamptons. Then we sit down and have a conversation with sommelier Sean Gattner and learn what it's like to be one of the top wine experts in the country. Dig deep into the well of creativity, where I sit down with our friend Joe on exit, entertaining at home. Fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the trip. November is the month we traditionally celebrate our gratitude with Thanksgiving.
That's right. And don't just give to people you know, don't just give to people around your neighborhood, give to everybody, give to whatever you can this year, okay? So, November 15th, that's right, November 15th, put it on your calendar, is National Philanthropy Day, all right? Put it on, check it out, look it up on the internet. And the Tuesday after Thanksgiving is nationally called Giving Tuesday. I bet you could imagine what that's about.
Now, times are very strange right now, and things are so different than they've ever been, but that doesn't mean we can't still help our favorite nonprofits. I know firsthand from working with North Shore TV that we rely heavily on the donations that we receive from our sponsors as well as from our multitudes of fundraising endeavors that we host throughout the year that this year has been canceled due to COVID.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that we can't come together while we're apart to help our favorite nonprofits.
That's very, very true. You know, and there's also a lot of things you can do. In fact, I believe you were telling me about some fun things before, Michele. I really do believe you were. Wasn't there something about Sunday football you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
what was it about?
I typically host friends at my home on Sunday to watch the game, and I always put out a spread of crowd-pleasing favorites, but I assigned it as a day where we're going to raise funds for my favorite nonprofit, North Shore TV, and I'm asking everyone to make a donation to the organization. It's just, it could be anything. It could be 25, 50, 100, 1,000, like whatever, like sky's the limit, whatever you can give, even if it's just, hey, you know, here's $5. Every little bit counts, and all these organizations truly appreciate it.
You know, it's really cool if you do like a Sunday football thing. You have like fun with it and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to like $25, but you could do something like you do a football pool, right? And half those proceeds, you do $100 for the football pool box, and half those proceeds go to the organization.
It's so many fun things you can do and so many different varieties. There's also another event that I'm going to be hosting, where I'm pretty sure you might have received. I didn't see if you saw it or not yet.
Oh, is this your s'mores soiree thing you're doing out in the backyard? Something cool out in the back?
This is just like a casual bonfire that I'm going to be hosting with variations of s'mores that we can make. Serving some spiked cider from my favorite cider house. I have a cider bar where you can spike it, serve it warm, serve it cold. And then
what I love about that, just like my mother would do that every year. Every year she would do that. That's really like down homey, you know, that's like you get people to sit down and really relax in that one.
I feel like a bonfire, some cider, s'mores bar, it really just brings out like the festiveness of fall, coming together to support an organization that is really close to the hearts of the attendees. And even now with COVID and the limitations, you know, each of these events are extremely limited guest lists where I'm well within the restrictions and the suggestions and the guidelines.
It's a fun idea, and anybody can really do it too. That's another thing too. The great thing about it is when you do this is we do suggested donations, but I remember at the end of the day that, you know, every little bit counts, whatever you can kind of put forward and everything like that is actually the greatest thing ever, because these organizations keep going. They're really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, these donations, especially this time of year where November is National Month of Giving, and most of our favorite nonprofits host their annual galas, these organizations truly rely on those funds to thrive throughout the year. So anything you can do, please do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Everything's good.
Hi, welcome back to Long Island Entertainment. I'm your host, Michele McDonald. So excited to introduce you to our next guest, sommelier Sean Gantner. Hi, Sean. Thanks so much for joining us.
It's really a pleasure to be here.
I'm so excited. First and foremost, please tell us some more about sommelier's selection.
It's beyond an honor to have been included among the team of sommeliers that were chosen to make this bottle. Raymond Vineyards is one of the venerable producers in California. It's been around for 45 or so years, and they were purchased a while back by wine's power couple. His family, the Boissets, control a quarter of Burgundy, as in the entire French wine region of Burgundy, and his lovely and dashing bride, Miss Gina Gallo, granddaughter of Giulio Gallo. Somehow in this crazy world, these two kids find each other, buy a couple of wineries out west, and in a grand spirit of really just having fun and doing things that nobody else has ever done, they started the Sommelier Selection Project with Raymond Vineyards. Each year, this is now the 9th year, they gather a team of somms. I was one of 13 for this year, and they fly us out to California, let us play mad scientist in the winemaker's lab, and our best that we vote on, they create 100,000 bottles for the world, and they have it priced so that restaurants can pour it in an easy, everyday price point by the glass. And in terms of value and quality for the price ratio, it's really, really, really astonishingly good.
It's delicious.
Thanks. I don't want to say the best part of it, but the best part of it for me, in addition to being able to say that I was one of the sommeliers that created it, is that they found a way to actually put all 13 of our names and bios on the back of every single label. So a seriously big, hey, Mom, Dad, check this out. On the back, you just unfold a small little piece, and it actually has, and right there, right at the top, spot of honor, my name and bio, and you just fold it out.
This.
And actually, all of my colleagues from around the country that were picked, they have all of us listed back there. So it's really one of those special things that, on top of a 15 years professional honors and things that I've been lucky to be a part of, this is really, really, really the icing on the cake.
That's like the coolest thing in the world to me, to say that I know you and you've made the wine. So I couldn't fathom to have made it, to produce it.
I mean, yeah, I'm just the luckiest kid this side of the playground. And what's funny is that as of 2 weeks ago, I actually have people now in the dining room of the restaurant asking me to autograph their bottles, and they're taking the empty bottles to go because they want them for the mantelpiece. I'm like, wow, this is ridiculous. This is just awesome.
I saved my bottle.
Thank you.
Have it with my wines at home.
Nice.
Thanks. Now, can you tell us about becoming a sommelier and what that journey was?
I was an undergrad for a long time. I was actually an undergrad for 11 and a half years, and I wish I was kidding, and so do my parents. Finally finished school, went back to sommelier school after starting working in a restaurant. And by virtue of one class I had taken in college, I knew more than any of the other waiters and waitresses. The restaurant had me start to attend industry events, and I realized there is a whole lot to know. So I hooked up with the American Sommelier Association, battled my way through the 52 weeks of 3-hour classes. The theory class alone, which is a full half year, only 6 of the 45 of us passed. Then we had to enlist for another 20-week blind tasting class, which, if that doesn't give you agita, I don't know what will. There's nothing so humbling or tense as trying to identify 35 different points on each wine in 4 minutes, and then finishing with, it's this wine from this region, from this grape, from this vintage. And somehow you just fight your way through it. If you care enough to put yourself and those around you through it, you just find a way. So I had graduated from the American Sommelier Association in 2004, and in 2011, I finally was able to get a job working on Long Island at a restaurant called Rothman Steakhouse, which is one of the venerable spots, North Shore of Long Island. It's there for 113 years. And it's going to be 9 years in a couple of months that I'm there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, I know we were chatting, but can you share some of your highlights with the incredible experiences that you get to have as part of your job that for me would be a fantasy, or for most of our viewers at home would be lifetime fantasies?
Yeah, the last couple of years especially have been ridiculous. Just being a somm working in New York, everyone in the world wants to have their wine here. So for the first 10 years that I did this, I was content to just attend industry events in Manhattan, where by virtue of the fact that there are so many wines being offered, I was tasting roughly 3,000 wines a year regularly, just by hopping on a train and making my way through all of the portfolio tastings that were available. A couple of years ago, I started to miss the European travel that I was lucky to do a bit of in my 20s, and started traveling to Piedmont, Tuscany, Burgundy, on the verge of my 5th trip to Bordeaux, the Northern Rhone, and I've been lucky. I get to dine in castles with counts and countesses. I get to take silly selfies with purple tongues with countesses whose families have been on their land since 1340. One particular adventure had me in an estate in Bordeaux, a castle in Bordeaux. The 25th generation was taking us around. Young guy about my age. His parents were moving along with us, as elegant and stately as you would expect people who had lived that life. And in one room, the son points to a massive 25-foot piece, this wooden relief coming off the wall, and mentions that this was the back of the ship that Dad's great-great-great-grandfather captained out of Bordeaux to join forces with General Lafayette, who was fighting alongside our General George Washington. So yeah, the back of the ship that fought in our Revolutionary War is in their living room. So let's sit and have dinner. Just those sorts of you couldn't make this up, and how did I Forrest Gump my way here scenario just seeming to play themselves out over and over and over. I have a standing invitation somehow to Chateau Latour, and received a Happy New Year card from the director that arrived at the restaurant yesterday.
That is...
So it's...
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in awe of these things myself. As I'm going through them, I can't believe that this has been a series of unlikely events that have and continue to unfold.
That's absolutely amazing. You have such a wealth of knowledge of finding and selecting the proper wines and even creating a delicious wine. What tips do you have to help or to offer to our friends at home watching to help them find or to broaden their palate of wines?
I mean, the biggest thing, and I can't underscore it enough, is taste everything. Explore anything you see. If you have a favorite wine on a wine list and there's a wine north and south of it on the list, try those wines if you're not familiar with them. There's a reason that they're there. Keep a journal. Question what you're smelling. Question what you're tasting. Consider the aesthetic of the wine. Is it a rich, powerful wine or an elegant, feminine wine? Is it alluring? Is it seductive? Is it a simple wine, but a lovely, simple wine? Don't curse the daisy because it's not an orchid. There are beautiful wines at every price point from all over the world. So don't pigeonhole yourself and limit what you're tasting, because there is an unbelievably exotic buffet of goodies out there. And by sticking to the same varietal and the same region, you're missing so much. That really is what sommeliers, myself, can't underscore enough to people, that you really should just go out there and just taste and try and keep an open mind and experiment and keep a journal and your taste will change. What you are attracted to about wine will change. Different seasons have you drinking different things.
That's so true. I love rosé in the summer, but won't think about having it after Labor Day.
No. But if I brought you a rosé from Calabria or a rosé from a Spanish Garnacha with a little bit more richness and skin contact and a darker pigment in the color, it suddenly wouldn't feel quite as summery, and it might go well with slightly hardier autumn or winter fare.
Oh, that is something to explore. Mm-hmm. Bringing us back to try everything and taste everything.
Exactly. You never know. And doing this professionally for 15 years, I am constantly humbled by things that I taste, things that my vendors bring me, in many cases with small artisanal producers in check. And I taste through their wines, and I can only humbly say to them, like, thank you for bringing me this. I had no idea that this grape existed, or that your style of wine from, your little tiny place in southern Italy was producing wine of this quality.
That's so incredible. You're constantly learning more. And now, for our viewers and our friends at home watching, where can they learn more about you and get in contact with you if they want to?
The easiest place to find me, I'm at Rothman Steakhouse 5 days a week on Northern Boulevard in East Norwich. Follow me on Instagram. I try and keep my my Instagram updated regularly with little bits of the adventures, little cool bottles that I get to try, and places that I get to visit. It's as simple as Sean.Gantner. And just reach out. Send me a private message if you're not sure as you're looking over wines on a restaurant list. Like, shoot me a message. I love fielding them, and I'm honored that folks that I've met do reach out and do say, I have a dinner for important clients at such and such a place. Could you possibly scope out the wine list for me? Or, I'm thinking about hosting a party for 15 people. Please, give me some advice. So, you could either reach me at the restaurant or private message me through Instagram.
That's incredible. I'm going to be sending you private messages like constantly, like, which one should I get? Should I get this one or that one? Because I'm always so indecisive.
Well, enjoy the journey. And if I can be of any help, like, please, it's really, really a privilege of mine.
Thank you so much, Sean. I truly appreciate that. And I thank you so much for coming down and chatting with us. And thank you so much for watching. This has been LIE, and I'm Michele McDonald. Hey Gold Coast, would you like to go on a culinary adventure that would delight your taste buds? Lydianne Internado, Joe Winchell, and I did, and it was simply sensational. Who opens a restaurant in 2020? Well, we sit down with a team that did just that. I invited my friend Lydianne because she has a sophisticated palate, and Joe because I knew he would enjoy the food, he's a Hamptons local, and I knew he would help me on this journey. We jumped into Mr. Slate, that's my car, which is a conversation on a future episode. Took the LIE all the way to the end, then took Sunrise Highway for another half hour to the picturesque, celebrated, not necessarily seasonal seaside community, Southampton, to the historic landmark property, 40 Bowden Square. This is the location of our destination, Union Sushi and Steak. Upon arrival, we were greeted by General Manager Jim Brew. When we were seated, this is where we realized Union Sushi and Steak is not your run-of-the-mill restaurant. Adapting to today's reality, the whole restaurant is ready to address safety and intimacy with privacy curtains around each table. It makes you feel as though your health and your privacy are both important to them. Sarah, our waitress, was so attentive to the service that before we sat down, our water was at the table. Right off the bat, I was impressed by the menu. It wasn't just my luck. They explained to me the cuisine is brought to us by award-winning chefs Scott Camp and Mark Fasanata. The French-American-inspired menu features dry-aged steaks that are courtesy of Neiman Ranch. Lydianne and Joe enjoyed a sushi platter consisting of union rolls, meacox rolls, lobster rolls, and sashimi. Lydianne had tuna towers, while Joe enjoyed broaden. As an appetizer, I indulged in the most artistically presented burrata salad. For dinner, Lydianne had the pan-seared straight bass, Joe had the ribeye with a side of mashed potatoes, and I've had the best pasta dish that I've had on the East End all year, which was fresh roasted vegetables cavatelli. Who opens a restaurant in 2020? Ian Duke and David Hilty do. We sat down with Ian and chatted all about it. Lydianne asked the question, what is the main ingredient you attribute your success in the restaurant business to?
I've always thought of the restaurant business, it's very much like American football. You have 11 men either side of the ball. It doesn't matter if you want to use the offense or the defense. 11 people. And all 11 on every play rely, each one of them, on each other. And if one of them breaks down, the whole thing breaks down.
Ian made the analogy comparing the restaurant business to American football, correlating their success directly to how well the team works together. If one of them breaks down, the whole team breaks down. Ian humbly neglects to assume personal credit for his work ethic. Ian and his team transported my friends and I back to before times, a time when what was listed on the menu is something you could actually get. Treat your taste buds. Go on that culinary adventure. We're approaching the time of year where we all sit back and reflect on what we're thankful, grateful, and blessed for most. I know one thing's in common, and we all share it. For me, it's my family, friends, and food.
Love it.
Joining us today is my very good friend, Jason Gallick.
Hi. You had me at food, so
Oh my God,
everything else is what?
Well, that's exactly what we need your help with. Showing us how we can be the host with the mostest this holiday season and remembering what we're so grateful for and that we want everyone in our homes.
Yes, this is I love this time of year. The fall is so pretty, the leaves are starting to change, and the weather's getting a little bit cooler, but you're not freezing and you're not hot and sweltering anymore, which is perfect. And pumpkins, it's really one of my favorite times of year. So I entertain periodically throughout the fall months. And, I love to combine like blues and oranges for table settings. I'm always throwing dinner parties. Here's me, we're just starting to come into fall. As you can see, I still have a golf shirt on as I set the table. It's really such a pretty time of year. And orange and blue are two of my favorite colors together. Talking about this setting here just for a moment, this is my dining room. I'm serving 8 people here, so we're out of the kitchen. My rule of thumb, if it's 4 or less kitchen, 4 or more, we're in the dining room. So here we are, we're getting ready for a dinner party. So I've combined a little bit of something different. I've added a little orange to the blue, which really kind of gives a nice pop. All right, so we have some fall flowers in the middle as our table centerpiece. We have our Tiffany plates.
This is so impressive that you've done it like that. And it's so detailed, and they always have the sets, or you mix and match?
Absolutely. I've used these blue glasses with pure white plates. I've used pure blue placemats. It might be hard to tell in the photo, but there are placemats under there. You could add chargers if you'd like. This just happens to be a fall dinner party just celebrating friends. So as we lead into Thanksgiving, there's certainly a look you could use for your Thanksgiving. There's some pumpkins on the table, the orange flowers. It really gives it a nice pop, I think.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
And now moving along to our next photo we have here.
Yes.
Is this the actual Thanksgiving?
This is my actual Thanksgiving table. And what I love about this table, I'm not tooting my own horn here by any means, but I did it, again, so inexpensively, and people, it's the talk of the table. The centerpiece I took right out of my front yard. It's a white pumpkin. It's a real pumpkin that I sat on one of my cake stands that I pulled out of my pantry, added a little swag around it, and then just some other little smaller pumpkins to surround.
Oh, I love this. Thanks so much for chatting with us.
My pleasure.
For more information on how and where you can go in. Please check out our social media pages, LIE_Long Island Entertainment on Instagram.
Hey Michelle, thanks again for having me back on your fabulous, resurrected LIE, Long Island Entertainment Show. You are the hostess with the mostest. You bring beauty into all of our lives, and really grateful that you asked me to be a part of this feel-good program and to bring good vibes only to your audience and viewers. And that's my job, my job, and I've decided to accept it. And good vibes, it's all about putting out good vibes. So that love zone, that sending out that energy to people, even when things are crazy and hectic around us because of social issues or choices or things that have to happen in November, it's all good. It will wind up all good. Every little thing gonna be all right, as Bob Marley would sing. So it's about keeping a positive attitude, not allowing yourself to get dragged into other people's heated discussions. They're entitled to their opinion, and you know, that's great. You don't need to get involved in any heated debates. You know, that's not your job unless you're running for office or a political position. So it's stay calm. Stay calm, find that center in yourself where it really is a beautiful life. You really are blessed. You count your blessings and everything that you're grateful for. And I know I'm grateful for Michelle and bringing this show back with such panache and class and beauty. And she is the epitome of all those things. So it's align yourself with kindred spirits. Align yourself with people who are looking to make things better, improve upon things. And this, you know, I think it was Einstein said, you know, if you match the frequency, you're going to absolutely manifest what you want into your life. So find that frequency of love, abundance, joy, and you'll radiate that not only into your own life, but for those that are around you. So this could be a win-win-win scenario, and especially in the month of November, a lot of winners. We want winners. We want celebration. We want joy. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. So it all starts with you. Get into the positive zone, and remember, only good vibes.